Good afternoon. Welcome into Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas, as Sporting KC2 gets set to host OKC Energy FC. The visitors trying to make it 9 points in a week, looking for their third consecutive win. SKC2 coming into this one on the backs of a couple solid performances in this home streak, a home stand of 5 games that they're closing out today. Alongside Doug McClagan, I'm Carter Augustine, and Doug, these two teams have been evenly matched so far in the 3 matches this season. SKC2 coming into this one on some really good performances, but they can't quite get over the line with the win as of recently.
Yeah, let's be honest, the last 3 games, their defense has been absolutely solid. They've given up 2 goals, unfortunately, have come on the wrong end of those games, but it's good to see that they're stopping goals in. Next issue is, can they score some too?
The visitors come into this match looking for their 3rd win in a week as they try and hold on to the 4th spot in the Central Division, and they'll look in their lineup to a former SKC Academy product, Tucker Stevenson.
Yeah, a local boy comes home. Always great to see a former Sporting Kansas City Academy player back. Tucker Stevenson spent some time with the Academy. He played in West Virginia at college with Loyola Chicago too. He also played for the Core Valley Cranes and was one of their best players by a long way. He scored 2 goals so far this season on 9 attempts. He'll be looking to get 3 points here for OKC Energy.
And for the home side, as Doug, you mentioned, the defense has been solid as of late. Graham Smith keeping his spot in the back line at center back for SKC2.
Yeah, he's probably been one of the most solid centre backs for Sporting Kansas City 2. He's only combined with Alias Jankic once. That was way back on July 2nd. But they will both be looking to continue the stingy defense that they've had over the last few games. He's good on the ball, he's great in the air, and he has a knack of getting in the way of the opposition shots. If you remember his heroic defending against Indy 11 in the last seconds of the game.
Intriguing one here in Kansas City. 3 changes for Oklahoma City Energy, 4 changes for SKC2. We'll get you the starting 11 and kickoff in this Central Division clash coming up next.
Looks like it could be a 5.
Just about set for kickoff here in Kansas City at Children's Mercy Park. SKC2 hosting OKC Energy FC. Let's take a look at the starting 11s. We'll start with the visitors, led by interim manager Lee Veidman, 7-4-5 since he took over, and currently in 4th in the Central Division. And 3 changes from a huge 1-0 win on the road at Memphis. As early on in that match, Zach Ellis-Hayden was sent off with a red card. He's replaced by Jonathan Brown. Tucker Stevenson comes into the lineup. So too, Arun Vasiljevic in for OKC Energy. Paulo Nagamura in charge of Sporting KC2. And it's 4 changes to the starting 11 for the home side, as Kendall McIntosh comes back in between the posts. Aljaz Jankic gets his first start in 5 matches along the back. Jake Davis on the bench in LA for SKC last night. He's into the starting 11 here this afternoon. And Enoch Mushagalusa, the 4th and final change from the loss midweek here against Birmingham. Beautiful sunny day here in Kansas City, Kansas, as we are underway. Sporting KC2 playing host to OKC Energy FC. It's the 5th game of a 5-match homestand for SKC2. And despite several good performances here at Children's Mercy Park, they're trying to snap 9 matches without a win. For OKC Energy coming into this match, what a week they've had. A 2-1 win over RGV last Sunday. That dramatic 1-0 victory, shorthanded on the road away to Memphis in midweek. And they're looking for a 9-point week. OKC Energy FC trying to hold on to that 4th spot and hold off the challenges of Indy 11 and Memphis. Alongside Doug McLagan, I'm Carter Augustine. Doug, OKC Energy higher in the standings. They're fighting for a playoff spot, but these 2 teams have already played thrice this season, and it's been tough to split them. OKC Energy 1 win with 2 draws to go along with that result.
Yeah, 0-0, 1-1, and 1-0, so they've all been really close games. It would be great for Oklahoma if they could win all 3 games this week and get 9 points. It would be tough. But you know what? The situation they're in, they really have to get all 9. They've got a couple games ahead of the other people they're fighting with. So they've really got to get a win today. And 9 points from 1 week would be absolute tremendous for them.
Already they have a corner, the first of the match. It's on the far side. 2 hands into the sky. It's delivered. Good service. Kuich gets ahead to it, pops free and slapped back into the area by Hiroki Kurimoto. Duke just a little lackadaisical in the back, but no harm, no foul. In the end, SKC2 able to clear. Indeed, the stakes are high for OKC Energy. They sit in 4th place on 29 points, that final playoff spot in the Central Division. But as Doug just mentioned, just 3 points ahead of Indy 11, who have 2 games in hand, just 7 points ahead of Memphis, who have 3 games in hand. They'll be looking at this match certainly as a huge opportunity to get 3 road points in their final matchup with SKC2, 8th place team in the Central.
Huge game last night too. Tulsa got 3 points from Louisville, so Tulsa put a little bit of a gap between them and Oklahoma last night too. So it's going to be a tight race coming into the end, and it's going to be an exciting race, that's for sure.
It sure is. 2 more games tonight after this one. Indy 11 hosting Atlanta United 2, Memphis hosting Birmingham Legion. It's getting tight in the Central Division. And OKC Energy right in the thick of things. They have a throw down the right with Tucker Stevenson. Launches it to William Bijev, and it's a handball. He's the main man for OKC Energy FC. They'll try and get service to William Bijev all afternoon. 10 goals, which is tied for 7th in the league to go with 4 assists for Bijev. And the high press for the visitors has caused some problems. They win it back. Vasiljevic, no contact there, and you hate to see that. He pounds the ground in frustration. I'll take a pause here to take a look at Arun Vasiljevic.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he just accidentally maybe stood on his ankle, but yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
there was contact.
Yeah. No intention, but that is a very painful step on the back of the Achilles.
And as you can see, he's asking Vasiljevic where the foul is. I certainly didn't see it.
I'm not sure if he actually gave a foul.
I don't think so. Still questioning. The AR was right on the scene. Head referee Malik Badawi. There is the trod on the heel, not spotted by the refs, so there was no foul given, and a drop ball gives it back to the hosts. And already, OKC Energy win it right back. Jeff dribbles into the path of Davis and Pierre.
This is their third game basically in a week, and if you notice, a lot of their lineup does not change a lot from game to game. So we're going to have to see how fresh they're going to be in this third game in a row. And they seem to be coming out early and putting pressure on Sporting Kansas City too. Is that something they can keep up for 90 minutes?
They only named a 5-man bench here this afternoon, OKC Energy FC, with, of course, Zach Ellis-Hayden suspended, being replaced by Jonathan Brown in the lineup. But new acquisitions, Declan Wynn, as well as Shea Adekoya, not even available after starting in midweek. Will be interesting to see the rotation for Lee Wiedmann, and indeed for Paolo Nagamura, as this is the third match in the week for SKC2 as well, coming into this one off the backs of a 1-0 loss against Birmingham. A match that could have gone either way. It just didn't fall kindly in the end for SKC2.
Well, in the end, it was just a piece of magic from Kasim in the upper 90 that won the game, because, like you said, it was a really close game, and Sporting Kansas City defended real well, and one bit of genius in a game, and the game's over, and that's what happened on Wednesday night.
Such a fantastic goal for Birmingham to get all 3 points. Just 2 goals allowed in the last 3 for SKC2, who, well, that's been their problem all season long. 44 goals allowed, 3rd worst in the league, but starting to sharpen it up at the back.
Yeah, they would have been really happy with the last 3, but like I said in the introduction, they've only given away 2 goals in the last 3 games, but they've only scored 2 goals in the last 5 games. They got 4 games, so they've really got to do things on the other end as well as defending.
It's just that balance, Doug, they're trying to find, because they were free scoring at the beginning of the year, but also conceding a bit too much.
Yeah, it's a fine balance. Yeah, it's nice if you can score and stop goals, but one minute you're scoring goals, you can't stop them. 1 minute you're stopping them, you can't score them. It's a, as they say, it's a funny old game, soccer.
Meanwhile, OKC Energy have leaned on their strong defense all season long, anchored at the back by CJ Cochran in goal. Connor Donovan, Mitch Osmond have been pretty much ever present at the back. It's just the 24 goals allowed coming into this match for OKC Energy.
Yeah, and I think Cochran was absolutely huge in their last game, because I think it was in the 24th minute they got a red card, and he made 7 saves. It was his 7th shutout this season, and I saw some of the saves. They were just incredible. And when you've got a goalkeeper like that behind you, with a stellar defense as it is, it just makes such a difference.
We heard from head coach Lee Wiedmann in midweek saying after the match they want a better start, obviously, this weekend. But, well, you just mentioned it. What a result that is. A big performance from your goalkeeper. And over 70 minutes, or around 70 minutes, down a man, they get a win on the road. And Memphis is one of those teams trying to climb up the standings and catch them. What a result that had to have been for that locker room morale.
Oh, massive result, yeah. I mean, to go that long with 10 men, I mean, that's not a good thing to do. And, you know, obviously they relied on the transition and the breakaways, and that's how they got the goal. But it was, in the end, a beautiful goal by Bichev. Ball came across the face, and he lifted the ball over with his first touch over a defender, and then second one just slotted it home. I mean, it was a beautiful goal.
That is the one place they've struggled. Bichev, 10 goals on the season, 10 of their 24 as a team. They relied on that rock-solid defense as Bijev tried to get around there. It fell to Ilya Bijev, and he wants a corner. And to his chagrin, instead, it will be a goal kick.
It didn't look like a corner to me. I think he was just, you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes these players call for calls that aren't theirs. Never did that in my career, but
of course not.
You see it all the time.
Well, here's an enterprising run from the back. It's Lamar Batista trying to slot it in behind, and well, he had come all the way from the back and read the play well, just didn't get the pass right in the end.
Yeah, he did very well to break through there, but like you said, that weight of the pass, which we talk about so often, just a little too heavy for him to catch. But great break there from the back by the young fella.
And he's been a recent addition to this OKC Energy FC side. Lamar Batista, just 23, came over on loan from Colorado Springs at the beginning of August. And Wiedemann was very complimentary this week in his presser, saying they're really starting to see him start to gel as he towers for a header along the back on that occasion. Starting to figure out his place in this side, Lamar Batista, and tough to come in a side that's so strong defensively, but that's what he's done so far, and he's already into his 5th start for his new club.
He adds a little bit more athletic ability at the back. They've got it already, but he's an athlete, I can tell you that, and definitely helps out with that back three.
10 minutes gone, still scoreless here in Children's Mercy Park.
So Sport Kansas City 2 has got a different lineup up front today. You're seeing actually Ozzy Cisneros sitting at that target position. Probably not known as a target player, I would think, but he's sitting in there at that centre forward situation with Mushagalusa and Roberts outside on the flanks.
Bit of a false nine, perhaps?
I would think it would have to be. I haven't seen him come off the back line a lot yet, but I think you should be seeing him come in a little bit deeper and maybe sending players past him. Like I said, he's not your typical target centre forward like a Mensah or a Zion, Long. Just a different kind of player. Much smaller, much more technical on the ball.
Listed as a midfielder, Ozzy Cisneros and the 17-year-olds right now leading the line for SKC2. Mushagalusa worked hard to help win that errant pass back for the home side.
Just watching Jamil Roberts, he's made a couple of really good darting runs from outside on that right to the inside position between the left centre-back and the middle centre-back, and unfortunately the ball's not been delivered. I'm not sure if Kuic did not see him or just was unable to get the pass off at the time, but he's made a couple really good explosive runs through that back line. This one he made a little bit too early.
Offside flag raised on the far side.
I think it's something you're going to have to see today, and we've seen a lot of it lately from Sport Kansas City 2, is that big diagonal ball that's either played by the centre-back or it's played by Kuic in behind the left back or the right back into that space. And I think you're going to see that. You're not going to see a lot of long balls knocked down the middle because there's just no height advantage for Sporting Kansas City 2. So it's going to need those runs from inside to out or outside to in. And they're going to need the ball on the floor, not in the air, not against this back three.
Well, there's a man that likes the ball at his feet, Mushagalusa. Picked up by Kuic, who will cut infield and eventually crowded out Stevenson and Kurimoto combined. Pierre reads that play brilliantly ahead of Bijev. Caden Pierre wins it right back for SKC2. Mushagalusa likes to run at people, sizing up defenders. Mushagalusa, his pass took a deflection. Duke strong in the challenge. Christian Duke clipping it from Mushagalusa, clear it away.
That's a situation they're going to want to see as much as they can today, with Mushagalusa out on the flank in those one-on-one situations. But I think you'll see, like many teams now, they've scouted him. As soon as he receives that ball, there's a quick covering defender in behind the fullback to give him a little bit of help. So they're going to have to get it out there early, and he's going to have to run at those players quick before that covering help gets over there.
Kuic finds Isaiah LaFleur. Plenty of time and space to cross into the near post, and Stevenson concedes the corner.
Yep, good play there, but I did notice this the other night. A lot of the last service that came in from Sporting Kansas City 2 was not at its best on Wednesday night. And there, while it was a good idea, LaFleur's ball in there wasn't as good as it needed to be. And they've got to be better on that final pass if they're going to get that ball in the back of the net. He had the right idea of getting it in behind the fullback, but unfortunately it was intercepted by the right back and knocked out for a corner kick.
Davis lines up the ensuing corner. It's in towards the back post. Big header. It's bounced out of play for a goal kick. Looked like Alias Jankic got in there. Graham Smith in the mix as well. Two big center backs for SKC2 here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle on set pieces today because OKC's got some big boys too. Probably more bigger boys than the Sporting Kansas City 2, but obviously Smith and Jankic are two of those that are going to try and get in on those set pieces. But they've got some big competition against the OKC Energy boys.
Well, Batista 6'5", Donovan 6'2", Osmond 6'3". Of course, CJ Cochran himself, a big figure. This is a 6'4" goalkeeper. Puts it into play. Jankic listed 6'2", and Graham Smith 6'4". So there will be some titans clashing inside the area in both penalty areas.
There will be, and the Energy I've always been all season pretty darn good on set pieces. That's one of the areas I think Sporting Kansas City 2's got to be careful of on set pieces, because they are very good in the air and they're very well organized on those set pieces too.
Kurimoto got there just ahead of Davis and quickly slides it into the feet of Vijev, riding the challenge of Pierre. Space now to run into Osmond. Stevenson's pass a bit astray. SKC2 take back control.
They didn't have much options there. Maybe could have kept it and gone back, but didn't have a lot of options. So he went for the first touch inside, and unfortunately for him, it got intercepted.
Now Pierre will swivel around the defender, and Kurimoto just got a piece, so it's a foul. Caden Pierre growing in stature every time we see him play.
Yeah, he's just growing and growing in confidence, isn't he? We saw a lot of that Wednesday night where he was dribbling the ball across and created an opportunity. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was for Duke, and unfortunately couldn't put that one away.
Mushagalusa, oh, he's through the legs and into the area, fires at the near post. Cochran is there. Mushagalusa, wow, what a dazzling run, as first he came down the sideline, then down the end line.
Yeah, it's amazing because there's no room there to get through, but somehow he managed to, and it's a good save there by Cochran. It was hit straight at him, but the fact that he covered the near post and made sure he wasn't going to be beaten there was very good on his part.
Now Davis lines up one from distance, out of play. Let's take a look at the wonderful work from Enoch Mushagalusa.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, this is the matchup they're going to want. One-on-one in those wide areas. But look at that. There's only one way he can really go here. And he didn't go that way. He went the way he couldn't go. That's just amazing. But he's been that way all year, and just a joy to watch. I think I've said that a few times this year.
Rifling the shot in at the near post. Cochran with the first save of note. And Mushagalusa came into this match with 47 shots on the year, which is 5th in the USL Championship. Now there's a bit of a disagreement between Cochran and Malik Badawi.
Yeah, on Mushagalusa though, yeah, I mean, this is a guy that plays out on the flank all the time. So the fact that he would have that many shots on goal, that's a pretty darn pretty good stat there for a wide player. Centre forwards, yeah, you're in the middle of the box all the time and you've got crosses coming in with chances to finish, but the fact he's got that many coming from a wide position, I think it's pretty amazing.
Cisneros got that off the chest, but it was bouncing around on the center line. Tracked down and kept in play by John Brown. Cochran under pressure. Gives it straight into the feet of Jankic, who rides the challenge for Bijev. Now finds Kuic. Slovenian to Croatian to start this move for SKC2 as LaFleur now comes into the area. A couple of step overs. LaFleur, what a cross! Oh, and it's poked in! Ozzy Cisneros points to Isaiah LaFleur. Wonderfully made, superbly finished off. 1-0 SKC2.
Well, Cisneros is not a centre forward. I made that quite clear. But tell you what, he finished like one right there. That was a tremendous play by LaFleur, though. Just some beautiful one-on-one skills, moving that ball, shifting it all the time. Ball got through, and that's a great finish. And that is the start that Sporting Kansas City 2 needed. They've been creating a few chances, not clear-cut chances, but now they're in the lead, and that's something they've not been in that situation for quite a while. So that's a fantastic goal by the young man.
2 matches without a goal snapped here inside 20 minutes by Ozzy Cisneros. Young man who is a midfielder by trade, lined up as a forward this afternoon, and he nets the 2nd goal of his young professional career. He's 17 years old and enjoying his first season as a pro. Cisneros had a chance to talk to him here today at the stadium, and he said he's really been learning a lot about being a pro this season and what it takes to be a professional soccer player.
Yeah, we've got to keep remembering he's only 17. And just like many of these young players here that are young, they're just growing and growing every game, and it's just tremendous to see. And I think with that goal, his confidence is even going to bloom even more, and we'll just keep on seeing stuff from him game after game. He's really progressing well.
Dispatched his first goal here with aplomb against Louisville.
And also to add that he's 17, he's now playing in a position that's not his position. And yet, you know, he's in there and he's working his tail off and he gets a goal there. So it's learning something new every day for the young man, and he's doing very well. Very happy for him.
Just turned 17 in March. So around the 17.5 range for the young man from Omaha. Moved to Kansas City as a 12-year-old to join the SKC Academy. Here's a wonderful switch of play for OKC Energy FC, and Stevenson 1v1. He stood up by Isaiah LaFleur.
Great defending one-on-one there. That was a great opportunity there for Tucker Stevenson to run at the defender, and he did well running at him, but that's just great one-on-one defending. The patience, waiting for the right time to make the challenge. Does it, and then we break away, and nothing came of it, but tremendous defending by the young man.
We saw him there, LaFleur, just eyeing that long switch. Just couldn't hit the pass into Roberts in the end. There's a half-hearted shout for handball by the OKC Energy players in attendance, but Kuich wins it back for SKC2.
So there's just a couple things they've got to be aware of, Sporting Kansas City 2 right now. So they're in the lead, which is absolutely fantastic. And one thing, you felt like they were in control of the game, okay? And they've been in control of games this year, but not scored. So it's good that they actually have controlled the game and put the ball in the back of the net. So that's number one. Number two, they've got to be careful the next 5 to 10 minutes not to give anything away silly.
They get it into Mushagalusa, near post, kicked aside by Cochran. Well, they said, hey, the best part of a defense is a good attack.
It's him again, one-on-one again, and they can't get the cover over quick enough. So he slots out to the left, because this boy can go left and right, and that's a good save again by Cochran. But you get him in that situation, he's going to cause problems all day long, and he's seen the ball 3 or 4 times now early in this game. If they could just continue doing that, I think great things are going to come from it.
Win a corner through that method here as it's given short to Mushagalusa. Well, here's an opportunity for him to run at defenders. Well, nice tackle. Kurimoto this time wins that battle. How was that plan you were talking about, Doug? Just why not give some touches to Enoch Mushagalusa?
Yeah, I think the more he's in the game, the better it is for Sporting Kansas City too. So didn't work out that time, but I say feed him the ball whenever you can.
Applause around the pitch for the defensive effort all around on that play. LaFleur in a good battle with Bijev, and then several troops coming to reinforce the left back. SKC2 able to scramble and defend that counterattack well.
So like I just mentioned, it's great that they got on the lead. The next 10 minutes so is important that they don't make any turnovers or silly mistakes in the final third, because right now they are in control of this game, and you feel it. You just don't want them to lose a footing in this game by making a silly mistake. So we talked about this before at the back. If they're not sure, there's nothing wrong with going long and getting it out of trouble and not getting caught and turning the ball in front of their own goal. So they just need to be careful, stay on the front foot.
That was one of those plays applauded by both sets of teams, as Cisneros just fighting off a couple players, wins the throw, but Lee Wiedemann and the OKC Energy bench really liked the pressing work to trap SKC2 into the corner. Second ball picked up by Christian Duke, and the center of the pitch is at Jake Davis's mercy. Sprints into the space and slides it over to Caden Pierre. 1v1, Caden Pierre, one touch around the defender. Brown recovers and concedes the corner.
Oh, I thought he had an opportunity there to maybe whip the ball in, and he decided not to, and then Brown caught him up. But again, out in the flanks seems where the advantage is to Sporting Kansas City too. Caden Pierre's got some pace, he found some space. He's not afraid to run, as we've seen LaFleur do that too. So there's an opportunity out on the flanks for the fullbacks and the wide forwards to take advantage of the OKC Energy defense.
Two young guns for fullback positions, the 18-year-olds causing problems. And now another corner kick. Smith was there, and I think that's head-to-head collision. And I believe Batista the man down.
Yeah, referee stopped the game immediately. You can see Smith just caught him there.
Good leap from Batista, and Smith feeling it as well. And that's what we were saying. This is going to be a matchup on set pieces on both ends of the pitch. So much size for both teams.
Yeah, there's going to be some major league competition for those balls in the box, and Batista got to that one first. Smith was a little late, but obviously not intentional there. That happens a lot in soccer, where they go for those balls and they clash heads. It just means, it just looks like Batista got the worst of it, while Smith is rubbing his head. Batista is still laying on the floor, and they're just checking him out. Obviously want to check for concussion and anything like that. So that stuff happens, unfortunately. They're just brave to go into those positions to do that.
Certainly, I feel perhaps people underestimate what it takes to throw yourself into those aerial challenges at times. And Lamar Batista on his return to his home state, having come back on loan, and hopefully he'll be okay to continue on. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Batista still having words with the training staff for OKC Energy FC. And again, it's a short bench for the visitors this afternoon. Just 5 players on the bench, and one of those is the backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because they've, like you said, that this is their third game in basically a week. So they've obviously got no one they can put on the bench. It's not a case of just saying we're going to just take 5 subs with us. They must have a bunch of injuries, as well as the ones they've just received.
Batista back onto the pitch, so full strength restored. Still trailing by a goal to nil, OKC Energy FC. And Duke, oh, he slides brilliantly ahead of the play, gets it into Mushagalusa, cuts it back on his right. Mushagalusa, well defended by Stevenson. And he's forced backwards for Davis. Duke, Kuich. Duke clips it into the path of Mushagalusa. Lots of room here on the near side. LaFleur lines up the cross, and it's into the area. Davis got to head to it. It falls back with Mushagalusa. 1-2 with Davis, unlocking the defense. Mushagalusa once more, saved by Cochran. Davis for Duke. Oh, shot for handball. Referee right there waves it off.
Ooh, that's a tough one because it did catch him on the hand. The question is, so close to him. I don't know if you can call that handball. I guess we'll have a better look at it in a minute.
Kanya from Enoch Mushagalusa once more through the legs on that end line, and Smith calm under pressure. SKC2 applying the pressure. LaFleur, acres of space as he makes his way into the area. The cutback just behind his teammates. Christian Duke saunters and delivers it for LaFleur. Back into the box! Just wide on the header for Mushagalusa.
Wow, so close. I mean, so much good soccer in that last 2 minutes of play there. And that's a beautiful ball in and a great attempt, and it's not missing by much. And then I think we might see if let's see if this, I mean, it did hit him on the hand, and I'm not sure if his hand should be there, but maybe one, the referee didn't see it, and two, if he did, maybe he thought it was so close, there's no way you could avoid that.
Yeah, that's you saw all the players for SKC2 immediately ask for the handball. I couldn't tell, Doug, if that was in the area, maybe just outside.
Yeah, it was a close one either way.
Now Mushagalusa trying to get the run, and he's held up well with the physical challenge of Mitch Osmond, who then on the second try wins it back for OKC Energy. Now the foul called against Duke will just relieve a bit of pressure, and now a sigh of relief and a chance to catch their breath. OKC Energy have been under the cosh a bit here.
Yeah, they have, and like I said, with that's 2 to 3 minutes of really good soccer. It all started with the ball being played wide to Mushagalusa, and it started with an absolutely beautiful little dummy by Ozzy Cisneros. And then, I mean, lots of things happened, little combinations to get in there, little individual skills to get in there, great header by Mushagalusa. It's just a very entertaining game here, and SKC2 is very much on top here. They're one up. It would be good for them if they could get a second and get a little bit of a gap between the two teams, because you feel like they are in control and almost dominating this game right now. And 1-0 is good, but 2-0 would be far better for them.
Coming into this game, the news was a bit of a wrinkle in the attack for SKC2. And so far, you'd have to say it appears as though it's paying dividends for Paulo Nagamura.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of possession, which is nothing new, because that's what they try and do anyway. But they've also been able to take care of the balls in the flanks, and they've had, whether it's LaFleur down the left, they've had Pierre down the right, you've got Mushagalusa down the left. It's all on those flanks where they're taking advantage and creating opportunities. If they can continue to do that and maybe carve out a few more opportunities, put in the back of the net, then this could be a chance for them to win their second game at home.
So now OKC Energy looking for a chance created down the right. Stevenson's cross blocked away, and that's a point that Doug makes. It's been a disappointment here at Children's Mercy Park. 1 win from 12 so far this season at home, 7 losses and 4 draws for SKC2. OKC Energy have been pretty good on the road, 4 wins with 4 losses and 3 draws. So they know how to get points away from home.
And there's something you might see from it. I mean, they can do this. They did it the other day where they could defend and they're down by 1, but all of a sudden they can make one major play and bang, they're back in the game. And they've got players who can do that. Obviously, Pajev is probably the biggest one of doing that. So that's where, you know, you control the game and they get one opportunity to score, and 1-1 just would not be fair right now, because a 1-0 score as we are is probably a fair result the way things have been going so far.
And right on cue, William Bijev, a thumbs up for the delivery from the back. Just peeled off the shoulder there, and a good foot race between he and Jankic in the end just wanted to make sure he couldn't create anything 1v1. So a toe poke out of play, corner now for OKC Energy. 4 players gathered just outside the 6-yard box as Bijev whips it into the area. Great service. Towering header, Graham Smith. Now on the bounce, that's a decent delivery from Kurimoto. Pops to Bijev, who fakes the shot initially. Vasiljevic tried to lay it off, and it's an apology there from Arun Vasiljevic. Those two just mixing wires on that play on the edge of the area. Closing in on 10 minutes to go in this first half. OKC Energy trailing to Ozzy Cisneros goals. Cisneros tries to apply pressure to Donovan.
I'm not sure. I don't think McIntosh has made a save yet, has he?
Been a very quiet afternoon for Kendall McIntosh.
He'll be happy with that. He's, I think, been in 8 games, and he gives up an average of 2 goals a game, which is not a great stat. I guess if you don't have any shots on you, then you should be safe today. If they can continue, that is.
One of the rare shutouts of the season. Only 4 on the season, and McIntosh got one against OKC Energy in Oklahoma City back in July. A 4-save shutout for Kendall McIntosh on the road. And he's back, as Doug mentioned, for his 9th start of the year this afternoon. The man on loan from Sporting Kansas City. He's one of 5 loanees in the starting 11 this afternoon. And that's something that's Lee Veidman talked about as well in midweek. You're never quite sure what you're going to get coming up against SKC2, especially in their home matches, as you're not quite sure who's going to be sent on loan for any particular game. And he said that's an interesting wrinkle when you're trying to prepare for Sporting KC2.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I was talking to Tommy Sohn about that on Wednesday too, is you never know who's going to show up, what the lineup's going to be. At least when you're looking at OKC Energy, you got an idea of 8 or 9 of the starters, so you know what you're up against. With Sporting Kansas City 2, you have no idea.
You could have young men like Jake Davis, who were on the bench in MLS action last night in Los Angeles, and got a late or early fight, depending on how you want to look at it, to make the trip back to Kansas City and take place in the starting 11 today. Of course, didn't go the way for SKC yesterday on the road at LAFC. Jake Davis recently signed by the MLS club. Duke got the challenge in, and you saw just the toe from Mushagalusa. Now he tries to sprint away from Kurimoto. Donovan's on the cover, and it's brilliant cover in the end from the captain, Connor Donovan. Not the greatest of clearances, though. It's straight into Duke. And SKC2 can stay high up the pitch. Davis accepting that layoff from Kuich. Pierre for Jamil Roberts. Haven't heard a whole lot of Roberts so far this match. He might try and change that as he slides it in behind. Can Cisneros catch up to it? He can't. It's out of play for a goal kick.
You know, just following the referee. Yeah, he's having a word with Kurimoto, but as he was running down the field, he was grabbing out of his pocket to pull out that yellow, and I think he's changed his mind because he was pulling back the forward there.
There's a poor play from the goal kick. Davis intercepts, cuts it back to Kuich, and a big block. Kurimoto, that was traveling off the boots of Peter Kuich.
Yeah, great defending there. Good setup there by Sporting Kansas City 2. Quick steal, set Kuich up for a good strike, and Kurimoto came from nowhere, flying to make a block there. Well played there.
Like that was arrowing towards that left post of CJ Cochran's goal.
So he makes a good block, and also I think, honestly, I think he got away with getting a yellow card, because I swear he was going to get it, but then play went on for a couple of minutes, and I think the referee, I'll give him a break.
No, the referee spotted that challenge between Batista and Roberts, and he said that was no foul, but will blow the whistle to go take a look at Jamil Roberts.
Maybe we'll see that again. Did he run into an elbow? Did he get an elbow? Or was it just a pure accidental collision?
Appears to be that's what Lamar Batista is saying, as comes over and offers his apologies and is amicable enough between the two. It was just off the ball here at the top of the screen.
Yeah, tough to. It doesn't look like anything was intentional.
Not much there, yeah. 6'5" Batista going up against the 5'9" Jamil Roberts. I think he might have just caught him with the wayward arm.
Yeah, and that's the run we were talking about earlier, him coming from the outside to in. Batista was aware of it and stayed with him, but that's the run that's going to split that back three, where you get in between the two centre-backs, and if the ball's played at the right time and your run is timed well, you can get in behind that back three and cause some problems.
Thumbs up from Jamil Roberts. We'll shake that one off after he's been attended to by the trainer Isaac Gomez.
And I think the thumbs up was to Batista, like, hey, I got it. Yeah, I know it was an accident, but I might be wrong there, but I think that's what it was.
Bit of confusion on the restart as Batista gives it right back to SKC2. And Mushagalusa goes for the curler. It's blocked by Donovan. And it's still with Sporting KC2. Davis, entry pass blocked by Kurimoto. It's really strange on the restart. I thought OKC Energy had the ball when the game was blown to a halt.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he was just knocking it back so Sporting Kansas City 2 could get it, but it went straight to Mushagalusa, and he was like, what am I supposed to do? Do I keep on playing, or what is it? So it was really weird.
Like both teams were a bit confused. In the end, came to nothing. It's a throw-in for SKC2. We're into the final almost 4 minutes of normal time in this first half.
Yeah, it's just as well it came to nothing, because if something would have happened, I don't know who would have been upset, like, hey, I was just knocking the ball back. We didn't know you were going to attack straight away. I don't know. That's a good attempt there, and unfortunately the run didn't come from Mushagalusa.
Kuich thought he had something there when that ball left his foot. SKC2 have been on the front foot for most of this first half. Can they close it out and hold on to this lead going into the halftime break? Kuich comes to retrieve from Jankic.
Thought coming into this game that they'd had 3 solid defensive performances. Now, I don't want to jinx them. We're almost 45 minutes in here, and like I said, I don't really remember a chance from OKC Energy, and so it looks like they're coming out with at least the first 45 minutes has been a stellar defensive performance too, with no turnovers, no mistakes, and they're doing rather well. Hopefully they can continue that for the next 45 too.
At the moment, the visitors credited with 3 shots and 0 on target. McIntosh has been a spectator. Jankic, good leap there to win it over Jaime Chavez. Speaking of spectators, Jaime Chavez really struggling to get into the match in this first half.
Yeah, that's maybe the first time I think you've mentioned his name. That shows you the lack of possession and lack of offense that the Energy has really had. And it also shows that Smith and Jankic have been doing a pretty good job to keep him quiet too.
Well, as you mentioned, it's just the second time these two center backs have played together. And Jankic has been more of an away games player this season, as he came into this match making his 9th start. And of those 8, only 2 had come here at home previously, so he'll be jazzed up to play at Children's Mercy Park. Aljaž Jankic, the 19-year-old Slovenian youth international, here in his first year in the States.
It's really tough for centre-backs, because most centre-backs are the same almost every game, and then you get used to playing alongside your partner, and you know what he's doing, and you know what he's thinking and all that. But there's been a lot of chop and changing on the back line for Sporting Kansas City 2 with different centre-backs, and it's just hard, especially they've only played together once before, so I mean, obviously they know each other at practice and that, but it's a little different when you're in games, so they've done very well so far. I think Nagamura just wants to kind of slowly kill off this second half, first half, get to the end of it, coming in 1-0, so he's quite happy to keep possession and be patient here.
Jankic came in for Matt Constant. We've seen Danny Barbier. Kave Rod with several games as well. Berto Puncic got a game on loan. Several players getting opportunities at center back this season for SKC2. Final 30 seconds at Children's Mercy Park. And McIntosh, lovely in behind for Mushagalusa. As he stood on the ball, it was tackled away, and it pops to Cisneros. His eyes are up, and he delivers the path into Roberts, whose shot is caught by Cochran.
Yeah, good attempt. I think his first touch maybe let him down a little bit, went a little bit too far ahead, and then he had no other option other than to hit it first time. Maybe if his first touch could have taken it inwards to his left foot, he might have been able to cut inside, but first touch kind of forced him to take that shot early.
4 minutes minimum added on at the end of this first half, and we're into the stoppage time now. How about Ozzy Cisneros? Decisive and incisive when that ball popped to the young man leading the line here, out of position, but with the goal already in the first half.
Yeah, he's done very well in his new role tonight.
There's another chance for SKC2. And 10 shots in this first half.
Yeah, Energy's struggling to get the ball from the back into their midfielders, and they're a little overloaded in midfield. It's almost like a 5-on-4, and that might be the problem, but they can't really seem to get anything going offensively as of right now.
Roberts told the turn, stays inside, and now Kuic, that pass was read perfectly by Stevenson, and he cuts it off. Chance for OKC Energy on the break, as Stevenson over the top. Bijev heads it down. Oh, big block, Smith! Graham Smith to the rescue.
Wow, and we talked about him at the start of the game, right? One of the things I said, he always seems to get in the way of the opposition shots. This is a prime example, because that's beautiful knotted ball across. That's a goal, and unless Smith does what he does, I was just about to say, yeah, there's a tap in, they get that one opportunity, and now it's 1-1, but that is absolutely brilliant defending, and that's what we talked about at the start. He just seems to get in the way at the right time.
We're saying Jaime Chavez pretty quiet in the first half, but had a chance to make a big noise at the end of the first 45 minutes. It's a good move from OKC Energy.
Yeah, it's a big warning for him there, because that was a beautiful diagonal ball by Tucker Stevenson, a beautiful headed layoff by Bijev, and most times that would be a tap in for a goal and an easy goal, but give credit to Smith for getting over there. But that is a little warning sign that even though they're up, they cannot get comfortable.
Now Jankic into the back of Chavez, and this is a free kick right towards the end of the first half.
He's going to have a word with him here. Just a word. Okay, that's good for him, because you do not, when you're marking someone like Chavez, you don't want to be carrying a yellow on your back, and be careful then for the rest of the game. So he dodged one a little bit there.
And this is something that you and I have talked about over this 5-match home stretch, Doug. It's just little pockets in the game where SKC2 kind of lose their way and concede.
Yeah, that could be the inexperience, the youth of the team, but this is one of those moments right now that if OKC Energy was to score, it just would be quite unfair with the result right now. So they've really got to focus on this set piece, and you've got Bijev on that set piece, which is never a good sign.
Dangerous man on the set piece as he clips it into the back post. Batista chests it down, and it's right into the path of McIntosh.
We just couldn't get it down to his feet quick enough, but that was a excellent, well, I guess not excellent touch, but it was a great idea to bring it down on his chest and get a shot off. It just ran away from him, fortunately, into McIntosh's hand, else that could have been extremely dangerous.
Well, he's just too tall there, Lamar Batista. If that's anybody else, that's on the head with the first touch, but the 6'5" frame Just fired into his chest there, and as you said, just wouldn't drop for him. 2 chances for OKC Energy at the end of the half, but SKC2 stands strong, and they're holding a clean sheet through 45 minutes, and they have a lead as well, thanks to that young man, Ozzy Cisneros, his 2nd goal of the season, capping off a wonderful move created by Isaiah LaFleur. The Academy products combining for SKC2 in the first half. They lead by 1-0 after 45 minutes of action. We'll be right back to break down the first half of play here from Children's Mercy Park. Halftime in Kansas City. Sporting KC 2 leading by 1-0 over OKC Energy FC. Alongside former KC Comet, Kansas City coaching legend Doug McClagan, I'm Carter Augustine. And Doug, SKC 2, a bit of a wrinkle in the attack this afternoon. And so far, so good for the hosts, leading at halftime.
Yeah, they're in a good position. We've seen games like this year where they've had good control and good possession, and they haven't been able to put the ball in the back of the net. Today is a little bit different. They've had possession, they've controlled the first half, and they have a goal to show for it. Last time that happened, I think, was against Indy. They've just got to be careful coming out, start the second half, and see what OKC Energy throws at them. But it's a good position to be in right now. 23
matches this season coming into today. SKC 2 led at halftime in exactly 3 of those games, just once at home prior to this afternoon. So they'll be looking here at a little bit of unfamiliar territory in 2021, but would you say perhaps full value for the lead here at halftime as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think they've been the better team. They've been more creative. They've created more opportunities. The big warning is the last 2 minutes, we saw 2 very good chances for OKC Energy. And if they can do that in 2 minutes, you know they can do it in another 45. So Sporting Kansas City 2 has just got to be focused, on the toes, and full concentration for the next 45 minutes.
A bright first half from the young guns of Sporting KC 2. They lead by 1-0. We'll be right back to take a look at the highlights from the first 45.
First-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
City double their money, and how sweet the sound in Lynn Family Stadium.
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was, and maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What
so is Lee Cohen. He was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
Halftime at Children's Mercy Park. SKC 2 with a 1-goal advantage over OKC Energy FC. And let's take a look at the highlights in the first half. The goal scored by Ozzy Cisneros right around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, you're going to see most of these highlights actually start with this man on the ball, Mr. Lafleur, the left back. So great footwork there. Nothing the defender could do anything about that. That's a great finish by the young man.
Goal cultivated in the SKC Academy as the 18-year-old Isaiah Lafleur, his first assist of the season, and he's been a standout in the first 45 minutes at left back.
Yeah, he showed you how to attack. Now he's going to show you how to defend. The patience and picking the right time just to prod that ball away.
Enoch Mushagalusa, 5th in the league in shots, and he got a few away in this first half.
Yeah, he's had some joy in this first half, gone around fullbacks, created some problems. And there's Lafleur chipping the ball in for Mushagalusa and just missing. Opportunity for his first touch kind of let him down a little bit there for Roberts, and so he had to poke at it, and a pretty easy save there for Cochran.
It was a first half mostly dominated by SKC2, but a couple of warning signs right at the end of the first half for OKC Energy.
That's phenomenal defending by Graham Smith, and then this is just a heavy touch. It's a good touch, don't get me wrong, but just a little too heavy because it ran straight to the keeper. But there's two little warnings for Sporting Kansas City 2 to be aware this second half.
They just managed to avoid any punishment from those warnings, as they do lead 1-0 at halftime, SKC2. And now we'll look at the upcoming schedule. This is the 5th of a 5-match homestand, so they're on the road for the first time next weekend at Indy 11. First time in quite some time for a road match for SKC2. Do return here in a couple weeks' time to take on FC Tulsa. Will play a factor with all those matches coming in the Central Division. SKC2 at the bottom of the division, but still will factor heavily in who will make the playoffs. Top 4 out of the 8 teams will make it through to the USL Championship playoffs. Around the league, and there are some big ones tonight. Look at that right side of your screen.
Wow, Indy against Atlanta, that's going to be a huge game to look at the playoff picture.
Likewise, Memphis and Birmingham. 2 massive Central Division matchups coming up right after this one on ESPN+. It's 1-0 at the break here in Kansas City. SKC2 lead over OKC Energy FC, looking for their 2nd win at home this season and looking to snap a 9-match winless streak, I should say. SKC2 with a narrow lead. We'll be right back for the second half game. Just about ready to kick things back off in Kansas City. SKC2 with a narrow 1-goal advantage as we are underway here in the second half in Kansas City. Kansas, the teams have switched sides. SKC2 in the blue-on-blue stripes go from left to right. OKC Energy, the all-white with the green trim from right to left. Just under 80 degrees here in Kansas City with some decent cloud cover on a lovely afternoon in the Heartlands. Alongside Doug McClagan, I'm Carter Augustine. And Doug, it's uncharted territory a bit, as we talked about at halftime. Just the 4th match of the season here in the 24th game that SKC2 have led at halftime.
Yes, it is, but you know, it wasn't that long ago, and I think it was maybe 3 or 4 games ago that they played Indy 11 and came in, and then, so here's a little warning. In that game in the second half, in the first 4 minutes, actually in the first 5 minutes, they had 4 dangerous turnovers, and one of them turned into be a goal that tied the game at 1-1. So they're just gonna have to be careful here. And I all said this before, if they're in doubt, just get the ball out, and because I'm sure at some point Oklahoma is going to put some high press trying to force errors. So they just need to be careful.
Teams are unchanged at the break. So OKC Energy will be desperate to try and pick up a point. How about that flick from Roberts into Davis? And Davis slides it in behind Mushagalusa. First touch took him a bit wide. Still Mushagalusa. And it's a good tackle in the end that slows things down a bit. Mushagalusa on the left. Duke now, the back heel for Kuich. And that was a golden opportunity for SKC2. They still have it. Pierre, that's a clever cutback. Mushagalusa, shot blocked. And a corner kick comes for SKC2, but they thought they might have just had a bit more.
Yeah, great ball there by Davis. The first touch just took it away from him, left it behind him, and then slowed him down, which meant the defense could catch up. But he then also had a 3-on-2, probably could have moved the ball a little bit quicker. But good defending in the end by OKC Energy. But a couple opportunities there for SKC2 early.
Davis curls it in towards Smith. He nods it back to the penalty spot. Roberts couldn't bring it down. So head tennis right around the OKC Energy area. Takes a deflection off Chavez, and Graham Smith will just settle things down a bit.
Yeah, smart ball by Smith there just to calm it down, like you said. And he's done very well in the box today, offensively and defensively, winning balls in the air. And that's definitely needed against a very strong team on set pieces, which OKC Energy is. So Graham Smith, a big factor in the box today.
Roberts trying to put that one around the corner. It's right into Mushagalusa, and he can't quite carve out a space for a shot, or can he still? Mushagalusa slides it for us. Oh, Ozzy Cisneros off a deflection. Boy, these chances keep coming for SKC2 to start the half.
Well, first of all, look at this for a ball. That is a perfect one. I thought he could have hit it first time. And once he didn't, then he put himself in trouble. But look at the skills just to keep the ball. And he's got 4 defenders running all over the place. Don't know what he's going to do. And in the end, Cisneros' shot was blocked, but that was a beautiful ball in by Roberts.
Corner taken shorts, Mushagalusa. Lofts it for Roberts, looking for the back heel flick to return it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, that back heel flick worked a minute ago down the flanks and didn't come off that time. But some good soccer here by Sporting Kansas City 2. Again, I don't want to be repetitive, but if they could get the ball in the back of the net and get a little bit of space between them and the Energy, it would just make this game a little more calmer for them, I think. Because while they're sitting in this position, we've seen all of a sudden OKC Energy can create an opportunity and bang, they're back in the game. So a second goal here is desperately needed, I think, for Sporting Kansas City 2.
12 home matches coming into this one, and only 2 of those they scored more than once. SKC2 just trying to find that second goal, and they've started the second half really brightly. SKC2. We saw some warning signs from the visitors at the end of the first half, but the home side coming out on the front foot. Floor, though, just on his heels a bit, gives it away. Smith clears for SKC2. Charlie Ward, I want to get him more touches in the center of the park.
They really have not had a lot of joy in the centre of the park, and it's almost, they're a little outnumbered in there with the 3 central defenders or 3 central midfielders for Sporting Kansas City 2 against really the 2 of OKC, and that might be the problem of why he's not been on the ball that much this game.
Now Stevenson crowded out by Kuic and Davis. Davis wants to get it into Mushagalusa, who's got Batista, the center back, ahead of him. Just slows things down a little bit, Mushagalusa. So SKC2 will hold on to the ball. Roberts told to turn, and he just telegraphed that pass. Kurimoto read the eyes. Just under 60% possession for SKC2 in this match. They outshot OKC Energy 12-4 through this part of the game, and now an offside flag will bring this move to a halt.
It's a good idea, but he took his run off a little couple steps too early, and kind of knew that flag was going to go up as the ball arrived at his path.
It was Jankic ranging over to just get in his path as well. So back underway, and it's retreated all the way to McIntosh.
And I'm okay with that. They've done that a couple times where I think in the past, I said this last game, in the past they may have tried to play out the back because that's what they like to do, but McIntosh not that long. A couple minutes ago, Smith knocked his ball long. So maybe they're a little bit more aware that at the start of this second half that they don't need those turnovers, and if in doubt, there's nothing wrong with the ball forward. In fact, the ball from Smith actually started the opportunity to create chances for Sporting Kansas City 2, so nothing wrong with a long ball.
Energy FC wrestle it back away from SKC2, still have yet to force a save out of Kendall McIntosh.
It's just good pressure here by the front 3 of Sporting Kansas City 2, because they're just not giving their back 3 any chance to see openings in midfield to start the offense.
Bijev popped over on the right side to start this move as Brown into the path of Vasiljevic. Oh, it's a good cutback, and Bijev, oh, he couldn't sort his feet out. That's a great chance for OKC Energy FC.
Wow, yes, he'll want that one back, because not an easy chance, don't get me wrong, because it was slightly behind him, but I think he must have taken his eye off the ball a little bit there and did not hit that clean at all. But again, one opportunity carved open. If it, you know, Bijev is not going to miss too many like that, so little warning signs here and there.
Certainly the player that OKC Energy would have wanted that chance to fall to, their leading goal scorer, Viljan Bijev, with the 10 goals on the season. Just a swing and a miss inside the area. It's a great pick out from Arun Vasiljevic. McIntosh imploring his side to push up the pitch and apply the pressure. Cochran high into the sky. Let's take another look at the chance just moments ago for OKC Energy.
Nice footwork on the ball there, and yeah, definitely want that back, because that's 12 yards out, and 9 times out of 10, I think that would be in the back of the net with him.
A lot of similarities to the SKC2 goal.
Absolutely, yes. The only difference, I think, was Cisneros was actually moving on to his, and so easy just to put it in the right direction, whereas it either came straight at Bijev or was slightly behind him. So that momentum of running on the ball for Cisneros made it a little bit easier to finish.
Bijev will be hoping for another similar chance throughout the remainder of this match. OKC Energy trying to make it a 9-point week. And we've talked about it. They need points, trying to hold off the charges of Indy 11 and Memphis coming right up behind them in the table.
Yeah, they do, and a bad sign for them is, we already talked about this, only having 5 people on the bench and 4 of them outfield players. So they don't have a lot of depth to have 3 games in 10 days.
Now a yellow card, first of the match, and it goes to Lamar Batista. And I'm not sure he'll be too upset about this yellow card, Doug, because when Mushagalusa broke free, it looked like there were numbers for SKC2 into the attack.
Yeah, I think he's got a hold of his arm there. So yeah, he slowed down the offense, and it's not in too bad of a dangerous area. So probably a good foul there by Batista.
An impressive closing speed for him to catch up to Mushagalusa once the speedy winger had gotten past the big center back. But the first yellow card for Batista.
Yeah, and going back to those 4 subs that they have is how much energy, no pun intended there for OKC Energy, but how much energy are they going to have in their legs if they need to come high pressure for the next 30, 40 minutes? That's a big question because, like I said, 4 people on the bench, not a lot you can do there.
It'll be Davis from distance. So good strike and palmed over the bar by Cochran. Jake Davis going for goal from that range.
Yeah, good save by Cochran. It just kept it safe and just put it over the bar. Good little fake run by Roberts. That ball was probably creeping just under the bar, so Cochran just makes sure. It's probably an easy save for him, but just made sure he's going to put a palm of hand on that and just push it over the top of the bar.
Came into the match 7th in the league in saves, Cochran. He's been by far the busier of the keepers this afternoon as the short corner is worked to Cisneros. And, well, he's going to take a yellow card now. The goal scorer into the notebook for a different reason.
Yeah, that's a smart play. I mean, I shouldn't be congratulating him for getting a yellow there, but that is a massive breakaway that could cause some major problems. So that is your professional foul right there. And while he's getting a yellow, I think Coach Nagamura will probably thinking, yep, good play.
And he's frustrated with himself, Cisneros, because he had a chance there to turn with the ball. And so he knows that was a mistake of his own that he made amends for.
Yeah, just a slight lack of concentration. The ball goes under the foot, and then now you got to make a major play. And at least he did make that major play and made up for his mistake.
Speaking of those bench players for OKC Energy FC, we might be seeing one here shortly as Aiden Daniels is getting prepped to come into the match. Trailing by a 0-0 and approaching the last half an hour of the match. It's shifted over to Mitch Osmond. Good step from Isaiah LaFleur. That's a young man that has come on in the second half of the season at left back, and he's making an impression every time he steps out onto the pitch. LaFleur with the interception to win it back for SKC2.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. And the good thing about it is not just, you think left back, okay, he's going to be a sound left back. He's been a sound left back, but he has got forward and has been a very creative left back for Sporting Kansas City too. So he's working both sides of the field, and him and Pierre, both right back and left back, defend well and attack well.
Now Mushagalusa, Batista on a yellow card. He's got to be careful, and he does well. Just easing Mushagalusa off the ball and forcing a goal kick.
Yeah, I just thought Mushagalusa could have been a little bit more aggressive there, because like you said, Batista is on a yellow, and you could see he slowed down a little bit to make sure he didn't foul. Be aggressive there, put it in front of him and make him hit you. And that could, first of all, be a PK, or secondly, could be a yellow, and he's gone.
Davis heads it forward for Mushagalusa. Throw in once more for SKC2. These two dynamic fullbacks, Pierre on the right. It's to throw into Davis, and Bijev defends for the visitors.
We've got a two 18-year-olds, two very good fullbacks, and that's good news for not only SKC2 but SKC.
There's Pierre on loan from SKC. And it's on the looks of this season, we might see LaFleur up there soon enough as well. And LaFleur really has come in just late in the season. His first start was away to OKC Energy on that 0-0 draw, July the 24th, Isaiah LaFleur. And he's now making his 6th start. So since that moment, he's been tough to usurp at that left back position for SKC2.
He just looks so confident too. And you know, like Pierre's been in a little longer and he's built confidence, but in 6 games, the amount of confidence he is playing with, both on the ball and defensively, is just tremendous.
And here he goes once more, LaFleur with the 1-2, and he's passed one challenge, and the ref wanted to see if there was an advantage. There was none. He'll bring it back for the foul.
Yeah, what does help, and you see it here, is athletic ability. Both these fullbacks are very, very quick. They are very, very technical, and they're not afraid to go forward. And tell you what, Sporting Kansas City has got 2 great investments here.
Saw there, LaFleur just shrugging off the challenge of Stevenson, and then Kurimoto doing all he could to get over and try and impede the progress. Two academy players as well, those 2 fullbacks. This is over the top, looking for Roberts, well seen to by Osmond. Cisneros gets it ahead of Batista. It's through Davis. Kulich is alert. Keeps it for SKC2. Oh, it's Cisneros. Sidesteps Batista brilliantly. He shifts it over to Pierre. Cross into the box, defended at the 6-yard box. It's out for a corner kick.
Yeah, great footwork there by Ossie Cisneros. Just shifting that ball. A couple of little sharp little touches to shift the ball. And then beautifully just laying it off for Pierre. Whips the ball in the box, but good defending at the front post there by, I think it was Connor Donovan.
Donovan with the clearance. That's something you'll hear all season long. Donovan and Osmond came into the match, both in the top 10 in the league in clearances. They can only concede a corner, as a double change now made by OKC Energy FC and their interim manager, Lee Wiedman. Tucker Stevenson replaced by Aiden Daniels and Kodai Ida on for Aaron Basuljevic. There's Davis. There's Smith and Batista battling. And now Ida fresh onto the pitch, and he does well to hold it under the pressure of Pierre. Chavez is up the pitch, and that's excellent hold-up play from the striker for OKC Energy.
Yeah, good hold-up play, good defending too, because they both got around the goal side of him and just forced him to go back, but did very well to hold on to that ball. It was like a 3-on-1.
Now they come down the right-hand side, and that cross is overcooked by Kodai Ida.
So a couple fresh legs on for OKC Energy. See if that makes an impact or an immediate impact on the game.
Pierre sees his throw-in blocked, so he'll try once more. Cisneros. Oh, again, he bests Batista, and it's slotted in behind Roberts. Offside.
That's a good idea, because that's the ball that was not expected. And so that was kind of across the grain, no-look pass, and unfortunately, Roberts was maybe a yard offside, but look at that again, bringing it down, and then that vision to play a ball that he's not offside by much, I can tell you that.
Inches tight. That decision. You highlighted it. Cisneros, again, doing so well to retain the ball under the pressure of Batista. Went for the killer pass and wasn't too far away. And now Cisneros applauded for his charging down to the goalkeeper. Watch out, Musa Galusa pokes it away, and the offside flag is raised as it came off the boot of Mushagalusa, and Cisneros was just lurking in that offside position.
Well, that could have been extremely dangerous for Batista there. Fortunately, like you said, when Mushagalusa just poked it, Cisneros was maybe a yard offside. But good defense by those two forwards.
Pressing high, and if that toe poke from Mushagalusa maybe went the other direction, you're right, Batista could have been all worlds of trouble. Again, they press high up the pitch. A good pass from Brown to break that pressure. Donovan apologizes to his teammates further up the pitch. Duke almost wins it right back.
I think SKC2 has done a very good job. That's Nagamura's done it by setting the line of confrontation. The front three are not allowing the back three of OKC Energy to have free passes into the midfield. And so it's really hard to get penetration and possession in that midfield area. And when they do, that's when they're dangerous, and that's what they're doing right now.
Right now, Kurimoto firing into Daniels, and Daniels puts it towards the right side. Ida trying to create space, and he can't. LaFleur is all over Kodai Ida. Good recovery, though, for Ida, who picks it back up in midfield. And that's a clever pass for Chavez, but Smith pokes it away from the number 9. Cisneros, pocket of space, and he's fouled by Davis. And SKC2 doing well here to just hold on to the ball and move from the back.
Well, the confidence of Ozzy Cisneros, probably even in the last 8 to 10 minutes, has probably grown massively. He's now checking for everything. He wants the ball at his feet all the time. He's making the right decisions on the ball. He just looks fantastic right now.
He's got the goal, Ozzy Cisneros, that separates these two sides as Roberts is fouled. Free kick to come off that challenge from Osmond.
Usually, you know, when you get the goal, you're the man of the match. But if it stays like this and they win and he gets the goal to win the game, plus as well as he's played, for me, he's been the man of the match for so far.
17-year-old Ozzy Cisneros, the pride of all Nebraska. 13th appearance for SKC2 here in his first professional season. He's on the ball, dropping deep once more. It's his 8th start as a pro, so 5 sub appearances to go with those 8 starts. Ozzy Cisneros, second goal as a professional, has SKC2 narrowly ahead as we approach the final 20 minutes and change. He's already made his first team debut for Sporting KC. Ozzy Cisneros having come on against Leon. It's a name to keep in the back of your minds moving forward.
One of the many.
Again, he's one of 5 players that came up through the SKC Academy, including Christian Duke, who is strong in the tackle there, and the former OKC Energy man, Christian Duke, playing against his former club. Spent a couple seasons on loan from Sporting KC in Oklahoma City back in 2014 and 2015, and made over 30 appearances for OKC Energy FC. Did Christian Duke, part of his legacy. Cisneros steps in front to intercept. And Duke for Davis. There's an overload on the near side. The game's just kind of slowed down a tad here in the past 5 or 10 minutes. Is it both teams trying to catch their breath ahead of a final charge here in the final 20 minutes or so?
It could well be. You've got 20 minutes to go, and it's not evenly poised, but result-wise it is, because, like I say, one bit of brilliance from OKC Energy or one slight mistake from SKC2, and this game is tied.
Another offside flag goes up against Jamil Roberts.
He's been caught offside quite a few times today. He's just got to get that timing down. If he gets it right, though, he's in. And again, that wasn't by much. I've said this 2 or 3 times today. It's not by much. So it's all down to timing. It's so big.
We've seen a double change for the visitors already. It's SKC 2 have 2 substitutes preparing to enter the match for the final 20 minutes or so. Davis slides into Kuich there. He got the ball, but he got a bit of his teammate as well, Jake Davis, and you heard the cry from Kuich after there was a couple players sliding in for the ball here.
That was a loud yell.
Loud yell and a slow motion fall from Peter Kuich. As here comes the double substitution. Jamil Roberts being withdrawn for Roger Smith. And the goal scorer, and perhaps the man of the match, Ozzy Cisneros, last 70 minutes. And you have to say, Doug, a job well done for Cisneros in a position where perhaps he's not quite used to playing.
Yeah, you got to give him the credit. He's definitely not used to playing that target center forward position, but he did very well today, coming off the line, receiving the ball, and technically so good on the ball. So he's praying that this will stay 1-1 and he'll get that game-winning goal.
Oh, Smith into the game and into the action! Roger Smith! Fresh off the bench! That's his first touches of the game, and he's put it into the back of the net to double the lead. 2-0, SKC 2.
Wow, well, maybe 30 seconds, if that. 4 or 5 step overs there, cut inside and finish the far post, and that's a fantastic play. So come on, that's your first play of the game. Look at this. First of all, he gets a hold of it, and then step over, step over, step over, step over, cut, and he just strokes it towards that far post, and that's a fantastic finish. And there's the gap that they wanted, that 2-goal gap. Now, they're not done, don't get me wrong, but at least you know if you make a mistake and you do give up a goal, you still have a goal ahead. So that 2-0, and I wonder when the last time Sporting Kansas City 2 was up 2-0.
Well, Batista slips on the ball, and they might have a third here. Davis with options in attack. He drops it from Mushagalusa, clipping it into the box. Ropapa Mensah, the other sub, with a chance to score immediately after entering the game as well.
Well, that was a little bit like deja vu, because I think in the last game, he had the same opportunity. He was a little ahead of that front post, just like the last game, and just couldn't get around it to get it on target. But a beautiful ball in by Mushagalusa, too.
And SKC 2 goals to the good, and have been dominating the match through 73 minutes gone.
Yeah, they've absolutely deserved this lead, no question whatsoever. And it's got to feel good for them that they do have that second goal, because it's a cruel game, soccer, and after dominating the game like they've done, if they were to not get that second goal and it ends up being a tie 1-1, it would just be an unfair result for them, and they've definitely deserved a 2-goal lead here, and it's hopefully they can hang on to it.
Well, as we said, it's just the 3rd time this season they've scored multiple goals at home. We're here in the 13th match of the season, and they're breaking free once more. Mushagalusa. Oh, it's a good sliding challenge from Connor Donovan.
Yeah, well done, Connor Donovan, but I think Mushagalusa could have maybe played that a little earlier, and I think he would have had more room to get it past Donovan. But good attempt, good defending, and it seems to be opening up right now for Sporting Kansas City 2. Davis in no rush to go over there and take that set piece. Still got a good 16 or so minutes left, plus injury time, to hold on to the 2-0 lead. Like I said, this game is not over yet. OKC Energy need 3 points. They've got to come chasing after this game.
Davis into Jankic, and there's a player down for OKC Energy. A clash of heads, and that looked like a painful one for Jonathan Brown. He's still in plenty of pain, holding his head on the pitch.
Yeah, again, that stuff happens in soccer, and he was there heading the ball, standing still, and the person coming in, I'm not sure who it was belting in at pace, so that's got to be very painful for John Brown there. But again, just both players going to play the ball, pure accidental, but very painful. John Brown's a big, strong man, though. I know he's from Bridgend, Wales. I've known a few people from Bridgend, Wales, are the hard as nails, I can tell you that.
Take another look at the collision towards the near post. Both players with eyes for the ball. Jonathan Brown, who started his career with Wrexham, is in his 4th season with OKC Energy. Hopefully he's okay to continue.
Just want to make clear that the people I know from Bridgend, Wales, most of them were rugby players, and that's why they were probably hard as nails. Looks like John Brown could have played a little bit of rugby growing up too, quite honest. He's a big boy.
Now Bijev is clattered to the pitch by Pierre. And that's a heads-up play from the youngster, Caden Pierre, because a break was developing for OKC Energy.
Yeah, it just slows down the play, and now you get 10 players behind the ball, and you get organized. So, again, smart play.
Well, to answer your question, the last time SKC2 had a multi-goal lead was away to Memphis 901 back on June the 26th. They led 2-0. Memphis closed down the gap and equalized for Danny Barbier with a late winner on the road for SKC2 in that game. The home side looking again just for their 2nd win at Children's Mercy Park this season, trying to snap a 9-match winless streak. SKC2.
Well, no, it's a little late, but the last 3 games they've been good. Here's the 4th game in a row they've been good, so they're starting to pick it up. Like I said, it's a little late for them to look for playoffs and that, but it's good to see them actually getting on a run of, this will be 4 pretty darn good games on a row. If they could finish the season off this way, I'm sure that would be at least something positive to look at for the season.
The young guns starting to gel a bit. And one thing we didn't mention, Doug, looked like Isaiah LaFleur got the assist, his 2nd assist here this afternoon for that Roger Smith goal. Didn't have an assist coming into the match on the season, LaFleur. Now he's got 2 in his back pocket. A wonderful afternoon for that young man as well.
Yeah, the game he's had today, then, yeah, he deserves to have something on the stat box, and that assist, he absolutely deserves it. He's had a wonderful game today.
Roger Smith, it was his 5th goal of the season, which is 2nd on the team behind Musha Galusa's 6. So that's a incisive run from Ida. Bijev strong through the challenge of Davis, and Jankic read the situation, came out to charge it down and block it. And now a whistle from the referee Malik Badawi. Let's see what he's blowing up for here.
I think it might have caught the hand as he was clearing it. Yeah, but great defending there by Jake Davis, because when that ball went out wide to Bijev, it was a one-on-one, but Davis got over there quickly to give him cover inside. So when he cut inside, Davis didn't actually win the tackle, but just the fact he was there was enough to put Bijev off for him to lose possession. So tremendous team defending there by Davis.
Now Mensah tries to hold up play, and he does. He succeeds, finds Duke, and there are numbers forward for SKC2. Davis striding into the attack. He lays it off for Musha Galusa on the cutback. Musha Galusa! 3-0. A flowing move from back to front. And SKC2 surely heading to all 3 points here at Children's Mercy Park.
That boy deserves one today, but again, I was just giving credit to Davis on his defense, credit to his offense here, because he delayed playing the ball in, and when he played it in, he picked the right option. Tremendous cutback by Musha Galusa, and just pokes it in at the far post. That's a tremendous finish and a well-deserved goal for not only Musha Galusa, but for Sporting Kansas City 2, who's now up 3-0.
7th goal of the season for Enoch Musha Galusa. just giving a little room for himself in the team golden boot race as Roger Smith had just clawed one back. Mushagalusa adding the third of the afternoon, and as you rightly pointed out, the assist for Jake Davis, the perfect timing to set up that chance for Mushagalusa. There's a lot to like about that move from back to front for SKC2. Saw the big man come into play. Mensah with the hold up. Christian Duke once more all over the pitch. An afternoon full of superlatives for this SKC2 side. For OKC Energy FC, they were hoping for 3 wins in a week, a 9-point week, just to give them some breathing room in the standings. And there will be some very happy locker rooms in Indianapolis and Memphis before they play later on tonight. That is, unless OKC Energy can find something here late on. There's a challenge inside the box. Pierre sliding in to Batista. And OKC Energy FC wanted a penalty. Instead, they'll get a corner.
Yeah, I think he went down a little too easy. And there wasn't much contact. Well, maybe there was enough contact for a PK, but it just looked like he went down too easy. But having seen that replay, that could quite easily have been a PK.
Just the slightest of touches on the ball spotted by the referee, and Pierre did have a little bit of a guilty look on his face there. More of a hopeful look. Ensuing corner kick headed away by Smith. And LaFleur got a first touch to it. Second touch off the thigh is absolutely brilliant, and LaFleur will sprint away from the defense. Finds the overlap for Mushagalusa. And he slows it down, drops it off to the floor, looking for that far corner, and it's curled into the chest of CJ Cochran.
Yeah, you knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to bend that up into the top corner, and he thought, this is my opportunity, but didn't quite push it far out enough. And
well, the match he's having.
Yeah, I mean, that would have gone in. Yeah, he would have deserved it, I tell you, but he was just a little bit off. I don't know how often he gets the opportunity to do that, and he might have to go away and practice a little bit on that one. But you could see as soon as he got it, oh yeah, I'm going far post.
Work to get it up the pitch as well, under pressure from Isaiah LaFleur. As Batista, well, that's just dribbled away from him.
Yeah, OKC Energy's going to be disappointed with today's performance, but again, just to bring them, it is their third game in basically a week, and the same with Sporting Kansas City 2, but the difference is Sporting Kansas City 2 have a bunch of players to run through, and OKC, if you look at the bench, like we mentioned earlier, they've only got 4 players on the bench, and there's a reason for that. So a lot of these players have played, what is it, let me do the math, 270 minutes all week. So they've been on the field for 3 games non-stop, 90 minutes, and you can see that a little bit today creeping into this game.
And 2 trips in there as well, to Memphis and now to Kansas City, whereas SKC2 have had the fortune of playing every match this week at home.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for OKC Energy, and their biggest problem also is they started this game with 2 games more than most people they're in the hunt with. So they're going to have to go home, regather themselves, and come out and put out some big performances. There's plenty of time left for them. I just know they would be coming into this hoping, like you said, to get 9 points out of those 3 games.
There was a chance for one of those up, back, and throughs for SKC2. Kuich was mad at himself. He had Smith in plenty of space down that left inside channel. Now LaFleur, we've seen him in attack, we've seen him in defense. He plays it out, and 2 players to come onto the pitch for both sides, and it's a special moment for SKC2 as you see Michael Lennis checking in, but more importantly, a professional debut for Daniel Gutierrez, the young man on an academy contract from the SKC Academy. And what a moment indeed for Daniel Gutierrez, the 17-year-old checking into the match, and he's from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Daniel Gutierrez, he makes his debut as a professional against OKC Energy FC, the team from his hometown. How about that moment for the young man, Daniel Gutierrez, checking in for his first appearance as a pro, and it comes against his hometown team.
It's fantastic. Just yet another young academy player getting an opportunity. It's great that he's from Oklahoma, that's fantastic. But just the fact that another young one gets to get on the field and gets to play and get some experience, it's another great day for Sporting Kansas City.
Duke and Musha Galusa withdrawn. There's 2 more changes made by Paulo Nagamura. That's 4 of the 5 used by the home side, as well as the 2 changes that came on for OKC Energy. And, well, there was the only 2 players left to them to come onto the pitch, unless they want to send Kyle Ein, the backup goalkeeper, out for a bit of a run out.
Well, hopefully there's no injury for OKC Energy, but if there is, goalkeeper might be coming on, you never know.
And there is Daniel Gutierrez, 17 years old, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He signed with the SKC Academy back in the summer of 2018. He's been involved with several call-ups to U.S. youth national teams, Daniel Gutierrez. As Jake Davis picks up a yellow card for the foul on William Bijev.
Yeah, he just hammered him, and you can see he's not very happy, so there might be a reason why he hammered him. I don't know, maybe a little revenge for something, but Davis had a kind of look on his face that he wasn't very happy with Bijev, but deserved yellow there.
And after that flight halfway across the country from LA last night, Jake Davis, an assist to his name. That's 5 assists on the season now for Jake Davis. That's always going to be a yellow card. But he leads the team in assists, and he's fresh off becoming the 19th homegrown signing in SKC history just about a couple of weeks ago. Corner kick curled in by Daniels. It was a decent-looking service from Aiden Daniels.
Yeah, it's a very good balling. Keeper's coming out. Smith's coming onto the ball, and probably smart play by Smith just to knock it over. But a nice ball in there. Good defending again by Smith.
Aiden Daniels is up for the August goal of the month for his beauty. He scored against Memphis. He's curling this one in. Oh, that lined up perfectly for Bijev. And, well, that would have taken some technique to hammer that first time.
Yeah, it's a tough one because the Sporting Kansas City 2 defenders were running at him, so he's got to focus on a clean strike with some of people running at you too, so he just maybe took his eye off the ball, but that would have been a cracker. And going back to Daniel's goal that he got, goal of the month, oh my gosh, that was an unbelievable goal.
Back on August the 7th. So they beat Memphis in that match. Now Mensah. It's great to see him come up back into the action in midweek. Ropapa Mensah after a long injury. And he's getting his 2nd game in just a matter of days.
Yeah, big, strong centre forward that can hold the ball up, and I kind of liked him just before he got that injury and had to leave us for a long time. So I'm hoping that he'll get some playing time and get back into the ways he was playing before, because he's a very good player, I think.
Just a little bit of housekeeping. The 2 players that came on for OKC Energy were Bradley Dunwell and Muang Sunday. Bijev is offside. They replaced Charlie Ward and Lamar Batista.
So for OKC Energy, the bad news is, well, maybe it isn't bad news, but the next game is against Louisville. So they're going to have to, and they'll get a bit of time, because I think that's next Saturday, I think. But they'll have a little bit of time to recover, but they're going to have to show up and start picking up some points there. And that's a tough game to come back into. But having said that, just the plus for them is they've just got 6 out of 9 points. And that is not bad at all at this part of the season, because teams are going to drop points. There's a lot of games, just like the one we talked about, Atlanta has got against Indy. You're going to have games like that that are, you know, there's going to be some ties, or one team's going to win and the other one's going to be pushed out. So OKC's still in this, They got to go back, get reorganized, and start winning a few games towards the end of the season now.
A big 3-match stretch to close out September coming up for OKC Energy FC. That home match against Louisville City is a week from tomorrow. And then they go to Birmingham. And how about this home match against Indy 11 at the end of September? That one seems like it will carry a lot of significance.
Yeah, those are some massive games. And the other thing for OKC Energy, remember they started the season 0-4. And, I just remember at the start of the season when Pasquarello's in charge, I remember he said he believed that his team was a good team, he just needed a little time to get things going. Well, maybe that was 4 games, because they've definitely got things going, and they've put themselves at least in a position to compete for the playoffs. So give them credit for that.
Plenty of injuries at the start of the season as well, and been a bit short-handed at times throughout 2021, OKC Energy FC. Wiedemann has come in, and they will drop to 7-5-5 after this result under Lee Wiedemann. Still very much in the thick of things. But SKC2 doing some favors for other teams in the division this afternoon with what will be just their 2nd win at home and just the 4th win on the season for SKC2.
Yeah, it's disappointing because that, you know, we've done a lot of games where they've been in games and just not ended up with points. So it's not like they're getting hammered every game, and that's a great opportunity there.
Flashed wide at the far post. Connor Donovan just ghosted in and got a touch to that.
I'm not sure what Donovan's doing up there in the 6-yard box. But that was a beautiful ball in and a great opportunity.
It's John Brown into Donovan. They're ahead of the defense, Connor Donovan.
Yeah, tremendous effort. And here's one thing SKC2 will not want to do. They will not want to walk away without a clean sheet here. You want a clean, perfect 3-0 result.
Kendall McIntosh. Don't recall him making a save in the match.
No, I don't either, actually. That's a good point there.
It's now Smith carrying it forward for SKC2. He's got pressure on his back, and he's held off the pressure, finds the feet of the young Gutierrez, Daniel Gutierrez. He's trying to show himself for the ball, the floor. Well, you're going to need several bodies to track Isaiah LaFleur the way he's played today.
Yeah, he's big, he's strong, he's very, very athletic, and he's got a beautiful left foot. I mean, this boy's going to be a player, I think. He's been so impressive today, and like you said, not just today, over the last 3, 4, 5 performances, he's been tremendous.
Academy kids all over the park for SKC2, putting in work. Just about ready for the full-time whistle, and the referee blows a whistle. SKC2 finally stop a 9-match winless streak. They get their 2nd win at home this season, 3-0. The full-time score as SKC2 emerge victorious from their battle with OKC Energy FC. Cisneros got the first goal. They added 2 more in the 2nd half. All 3 points go to SKC2. 3-0 the final score. We'll be right back to wrap things up from Children's Mercy Park. Full time in Kansas City. Sporting KC 2 with a 3-0 victory over OKC Energy FC. Ozzy Cisneros getting congratulations as he officially has the match winner. His first half goal, second of the season for the 17-year-olds, gave SKC2 the impetus, and they carried out the task in the second half. Further goals from Roger Smith and Enoch Musha-Galusa. The difference in this one. Doug McClagan, what do you make? What are your final thoughts after watching SKC2 get their second home win of the season?
Well, there was a lot of good performances, especially from the young boys today. This was one right in front of us here. Got the game-winning goal. He's got to be really happy with that. What does that do? Build up so much confidence. And so the good thing coming out of this game today, that's the fourth really strong performance from Sporting Kansas City 2 on a row. And so they got to be very, very happy with a clean sheet and 3 points.
OKC Energy FC will look to rebound. Sporting KC2, the young guns are all right. The kids come through for SKC2. Cisneros with his second goal of the season. LaFleur, 2 assists on the day. Fantastic match from SKC2 as they get all 3 points in this one. For Doug McClagan, the rest of our all-star crew in Kansas City, I'm Carter Augustine. Thanks for watching. Full-time score from Children's Mercy Park. SKC 2-3, OKC Energy FC 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.